warrant, not just an administrative one, to enter private property. They want federal law enforcement agents to show ID, wear body cameras, standard uniforms, no masks, protect sensitive locations like schools and churches, stop racial profiling, coordinate with local jurisdictions to prosecute crimes. Are you on board with any of these demands? Do you see a deal?
I think we need to work through it. There's some things that make sense, and a lot of things that don't. Just a few days ago, this was a bipartisan vote, and all of a sudden now the Democrats are trying to hold the country hostage. I'll tell you what's not going to be in there. Amnesty for illegal aliens. I'll tell you what's not going to be there. Stripping away protections for law enforcement officers that are trying to protect themselves. If rioters get to wear masks, then law enforcement gets to wear masks as well. What can be in there? Yeah. I think the body cameras make a lot of sense. I was really encouraged to see Secretary Noem and Tom Homan execute that. I think those are good parts of it. And another thing that works, going back to my district, another thing that works is communication. I think it'd be very, very key if there were communication liaisons in all the communities that ICE has, meaning not changing policy, just sharing communication from the community, let's say the city manager, let's say city council, community leaders, up to the administration, and back down. I saw the Biden administration do this with ranch liaisons when the ranchers were really upset. And once again, that helped. These are a couple things that I think could make it, could be the glue that gets this package going. If
the administration will go along with that coordination with local officials.
Yeah, absolutely. The liaison piece makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, that one, once again, ICE is not going to stop going to these communities. It would be helpful if we had many Tom Homans all throughout the country basically saying, this is what we're doing, not leaving things to what ifs and letting other people fill that void, but an actual sharing up and down the chain of command, if you will.
Let me ask you about the warrants here. The Trump administration has changed how to use warrants in arrests. They permit warrantless arrests as well. This wasn't done even during the first Trump administration. Leader Jeffries was on another network this morning and said, judicial warrants should absolutely be required before ICE agents can storm private property. It should not be controversial, this demand. They just want adherence to Fourth Amendment constitutional protections. As a conservative, shouldn't a judge be consulted?
Of course, I believe in the Fourth Amendment. But what worries me is a judge should not hold up everything. We're seeing judges all over the country go beyond their level of authority. And so if a law enforcement officer, let's just say, for example, sees a crime that's being committed or has due cause, then why can't they go in there? These administrative warrants, they aren't new. All of a sudden, the left
There's new interpretation of them, and the ICE director has disclosed that.
Well, they're complaining about the use of them, but if you're an ICE agent and you don't have cooperation from local or local officials, how are you supposed to get that criminal that's in somebody's community? How are you supposed to remove them? That's what worries me. If we allow judges to be the roadblock, it doesn't keep our community safe.
So that's a hard line for you in terms of you would never get on board with requiring that a judicial warrant be required to enter private property?
Administrative warrants work. I want to give law enforcement every tool they need to go out and apprehend these convicted criminals that are loose in our community. To me, that makes a lot of sense. Why you would want to shackle your own law enforcement from keeping our community safe makes no sense to me.
Well, the Fourth Amendment protects all people, regardless of citizenship or national origin, from unreasonable search and seizure. So some of those collateral arrests are warrantless. But that's the politics of this funding bill. I'll put the policy aside for a second because I want to ask you about the cross-examination you're going to have the opportunity to make this week, because you have the head of ICE, CBP, and another agency come before the Homeland Security Committee. The Republican chair said he has questions about training of immigration agents and their use of force. Are you comfortable with what you saw happen in Minneapolis? I mean, are Republicans going to approach this in a partisan way or hold them to account?
What happened in Minneapolis, nobody in this country should want. We should all strive not to be Minneapolis. We don't want to see local communities not work with federal government, and we don't want to see...
The leaders of the agencies are the ones you're going to be questioning, though.
Of course, and I want to know, hey, what are you doing to work with others within the community so that way it's not just the ICE going it alone. It shouldn't be that way, and this is what we're seeing. Secretary Noem has been very clear on trying to build these relationships out, and Tom Homan is delivering on this by going in there. 80 counties are now all of a sudden working with ICE, allowing us in their jails.
That was a choice by the administration.
That
to
works.
Start working with locals.
That
was a change.
They've been trying to do this. The problem is you've got so many local municipalities that don't want to work together. And when that happens, your city burns. We don't want Los Angeles. We shouldn't want Minneapolis. People can protest. People can be able to say, hey, we won't agree with certain policy, but there needs to be more collaboration at the local, state, and federal level.
Well, we're going to have to take a break here.